A few weeks ago, I predicted every single NFL team's record for the 2026 season. Some of those predictions were expected, others are much more controversial. But today, we're taking the next step. Using those exact records, I'm going to predict the entire NFL playoffs, every wildcard matchup, every divisional round game, every conference championship, and ultimately, Super Bowl 61. The NFL playoffs or regular season expectations no longer matter. Every year, a contender falls earlier than expected, an underdog makes an unexpected run, and one team separates itself from the rest to lift the Lombardi Trophy. Today, I'll be breaking down every matchup, explaining each prediction, and revealing who I believe will be crowned Super Bowl champions at the end of the season. Let's get started with the wildcard matchups. The first match on the AFC side is Chiefs, the 5 seed, versus Bengals, the 4 seed. This is an interesting matchup, because while the Chiefs are super talented, they did lose a ton of defensive talent recently. The Bengals have only added some, still with their triple threat of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow. The thing I worry about for the Bengals is injuries. Joe Burrow is pretty injury prone, and T. Higgins has been working through some stuff recently. So I have the Chiefs winning, just barely, 21-17. The next matchup is the Chargers, the 6 seed, versus Texans, the 3 seed. Every playoffs, the Chargers get in. And every year, everyone says the same thing. The Chargers are going to make a run this year. And they never do. They always go out first round. And I have the same thing happening here. The Chargers offense has no chance against the Texans defense. And the Texans offense is just good enough to get enough points to win. I have Texans winning 17-10. The final AFC wildcard matchup is the Patriots, the 7 seed, versus the Broncos, the 2 seed. The Broncos and the Patriots both have some of the best defenses in football, but I think the Broncos has a slightly better offense. I think Bo Nix is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league, and having Jalen Waddle and Courtland Sutton as his receivers, I think the Broncos are going to win this game by a good bit, 24-7. Now for the NFC wildcard matchups. The 49ers, the 5 seed, versus the Giants, the 4 seed. The only reason the Giants are the 4 seed is because they won their division. I had them doing poorly, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders all finishing with losing records. I definitely think the Giants are very talented. Cam Scadaboo and Malik Neighbors were both injured last year and are key parts of their offense. Jackson Dart will work as a franchise quarterback, even if he's not the best one available. But the 49ers are just really, really good. Brock Purdy is a really great quarterback. Christian McCaffrey is one of the best running backs in the league. George Kittle is one of the best tight ends in the league. And they just re-added Deebo Samuel, and they added Mike Evans to their offense. I just don't know how you're going to stop them. The 49ers are definitely going to score a whole lot of points, so I have them winning 31-14. Next up on the NFC side, the Lions, the 6 seed, versus the Panthers, the 3 seed. The Lions have a very talented offense. Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a triple threat that cannot be dealt with. But the Panthers also have a really strong defense. And their offense is better than people give them credit for. Ted McMillan can make a big jump this season, and Bryce Young is getting better every year. So I think it's going to be closer than people expect, but I do think the Lions still squeeze it out, 24-14. And for the final wildcard matchup, the Seahawks, the 7 seed, versus the Bears, the 2 seed. Now, the Seahawks had a really good season last year. They won the Super Bowl, and I think everyone expects them to do the same, especially with the JSN-Sam Darnold duo. But what people don't realize is that with JSN being the top paid wide receiver, it basically took up a huge chunk of their salary cap. So they had to get rid of a ton of people, including Kenneth Walker and Kobe Bryant. Speaking of which, Kobe Bryant joined the Bears. The Bears have a ton of people on rookie contracts. Rome Odunze, Caleb Williams is a great duo. Kobe Bryant joined. Their defense has gotten a lot of upgrades. I honestly think the Bears could be one of the best teams in the league next season. So I have them beating the Seahawks by a good bit, 28-10. Now let's go back to the AFC side for the divisional rounds. We have the Chiefs, the 5 seed, versus the Bills, the 1 seed, who got the first round bye. The Chiefs and Bills have a history of playing each other in the playoffs. Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. They added DJ Moore. Finally, someone for Josh Allen to throw to. James Cook is one of the best running backs in the league if he can fix his fumbling issue. And their defense is pretty good. Overall, the Bills are one of the best teams in the league right now. But they have playoff history of just not putting up great performances. Meanwhile, on the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is coming off an ACL tear. Although he's looking good and he's been cleared for practice, it's still something you have to worry about. They've definitely dealt with a lot of injuries as a team recently. Rashee Rice just had to rehab an injury in jail. Although he's out now and looking good, that's also concerning. Xavier Worthy also seemed to get injured recently during training camp, driving his shoulder into the ground and spraining it. And on the other side of the ball, their first-round pick, Mansour Delane, the cornerback out of LSU, seems to be dealing with an injury as well. He's the only non-quarterback in a non-contact jersey at training camp. And L'Jarius Sneed is also dealing with an injury, not participating at practice very much recently. But the main thing that I think the Chiefs are going to use is Kenneth Walker. After a hot start last season and Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes finally has someone to run the football for him. And that's going to have a chain effect for their whole offense. I think this is going to be a very close and high-scoring game, but I have the Chiefs winning it 35-31. And now, the Texans, the 3 seed, versus the Broncos, the 2 seed. Arguably the two best defenses in football going up against each other. Now, the Texans have probably a better defense, just by a little bit. But their quarterback is C.J. Stroud, and they only have one good receiver, an injury-prone Nico Collins. On the other hand, the Broncos added Jalen Waddle and Courtland Sutton. Bo Nix, in a recent interview, said his foot's all good and there's nothing holding him back anymore. So I think the Broncos are probably going to win this one, but it's going to be low scoring and really close. But I have them winning 14-13. Now moving to the NFC for their divisional matchups, we have the 49ers, the 5 seed, versus the Rams, the 1 seed. Now if you watched my prediction video, the Rams won the league, having the most wins out of any other team, going 14-3. The Rams added Myles Garrett and Trent McDuffie. Their defense is now one of the top in the league. And with Matthew Stafford being one of the better quarterbacks and Puka Nacua being arguably the best wide receiver in the league, I just don't know how they're going to be stoppable. This might be Matthew Stafford's last year, so he's going to be more determined than ever to get the second Super Bowl ring too. While the 49ers are definitely a good team, they don't stand a chance against the Rams in this. I have the Rams dominating them, winning 34-7. And now, the final divisional matchup. The Lions, the 6 seed, versus the Bears, the 2 seed. Now, the Bears are definitely the more well-rounded team. Their offense is pretty good, and their defense is pretty good. But neither their offense or their defense is elite. Now, the Lions have an elite offense. Their defense is okay at best. I mean, it's pretty good, it has weaknesses, it has upsides. But their offense is just unstoppable. And I think their offense might actually really win them the game. I think it'll be close, but I think the Lions actually pull this one out 31-24. And now we have the conference championships. The Chiefs, the 5 seed, versus the Broncos, the 2 seed. Division rivals. While the Chiefs do have a lot of upsides, they've added a lot to their defense, and with Kenneth Walker, their offense is a lot stronger. They don't have the receiving core, and I just don't think they have the strength on defense, and risk of injury is definitely not helping them out. While the Broncos have a super elite defense that can probably shut down the Chiefs. It's definitely not going to be a shutout. It's probably going to be a lot closer than people think. But I have the Broncos winning 31-21, moving them on to the Super Bowl. And now the Rams, the 1 seed, versus the Lions, the 6 seed. Now the Rams have a super strong offense and defense, as I've said. And the Lions have a super strong offense. So I think the Lions are going to get a couple points out of them, but I think the Rams are definitely going to abuse the Lions' defense and score a whole lot of points this game. And I have them winning 42-14, moving them to face the Broncos in the Super Bowl. And now, Super Bowl 61, the moment we've all been waiting for. The Rams, the 1 seed from the NFC, and the Broncos, the 2 seed from the AFC, facing in Super Bowl 61. Arguably some of the best teams in the entire league. Now the Rams are going to have some trouble with the Broncos' defense. I think the Broncos' defense are going to be able to shut them down. But I think the Rams are definitely going to be able to get a lot of points either way because their offense is just too strong. The Broncos are going to be able to get less points from the Rams' defense. Myles Garrett is going to be a struggle for Bo Nix. And their cornerbacks are definitely going to shut down some of their wide receivers. I think the Broncos get some points, but I think the Rams get more. I have the Rams winning the Super Bowl 38-24. And I think all of these are probably going to be wrong when it comes to it. I probably got most of these incorrect, and I probably didn't even get who made it correct. So let me know what you think your predictions are, and I guess we'll just have to wait a couple months and see what happens. because as I've said before, the NFL playoffs is one of the most unpredictable things ever.